Hey folks, yep, Power Rack is in the house. Old squat rack is sold and gone. But before I show you the new Power Rack, let me show you how I went about deciding what I wanted for a Power Rack, and then we'll come back.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about power racks, what I ultimately went with, and my thoughts on the process of power racks for essentially beginners or people who are intermediates, certainly not professionals. You can find a power rack on Amazon.com for, a couple of $100 and up to whatever you want to spend. And a lot of the power racks that I was looking at were also sold on Amazon, but to be honest, the best prices that I found were not on Amazon for these power racks, but were on the company's website. Especially during the holidays, you can get discounts. You can consider Amazon.com if you know what you're looking for and you want a certain setup or you want a certain color and maybe the manufacturer is out of that color, and maybe they have it on Amazon, and then you might consider Amazon. But where I purchase a lot of things every year on Amazon, when it comes to physical fitness equipment, it's not my first choice. So if you're an average, maybe you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're older, maybe you're in your 60s, and you've been following the starting strength method of getting strong. Maybe you've looked at some of my previous videos about prepper fitness. Um, a power rack is eventually pretty important to have because it allows you to do exercises that you can't do without a power rack. So although you can find many cheaper power racks on places like Amazon, my recommendation after doing months and months of research on the topic is to ultimately purchase something that meets your needs, that has a website where you can buy replacement parts, where you can buy, more importantly, accessories, because eventually you're going to need and desire some accessories. If they don't offer any accessories or replacement parts, then it's your first power rack, not your, potentially your last power rack. So why waste the money? Get what you want the first time and save yourself a lot of money in the long run. So there's three websites here that I considered the most. My criteria for a power rack was to get something that was aesthetically pleasing, which meant for myself, I didn't want a plain black power rack. I wanted something with an option of colors. Um, Secondly, I wanted a power rack that had west side spacing for the bench. West side spacing, if you're not familiar with that, just means that in the bench press area where you're moving the bar, the holes are an inch apart, which allows you to be precise about where you want your bar to sit when you're doing the bench. So it gives you the most flexibility. I wanted about 30 inches or more of depth, which is the space between the side bars. So if you're sitting or laying down on a bench in a power rack, on each side of you, you have the bars that connect the front post to the rear post. I wanted that depth or that distance between the posts to be, 30 inches or more. Most power racks give you a choice of 24 inches, 30 inches, 40 inches. The rack I ended up going with had 29 inches, and this rack only has one option, and 29 inches I have found to be very comfortable, and I'm very happy with my decision. Um, Additionally, I wanted height, right? I'm a tall person. I'm 6'4", and in my garage where I have my power rack, I've got a ceiling height of about 102 inches. So I wanted something that was tall enough that would facilitate doing pull-ups and chin-ups when I get to that point. Um, and your height that you're going to choose is going to be dependent on, your height and what you have to work with for a room ceiling height. If you're, maybe you're below 5'10", and you don't need a 90-inch rack. If you're below 5'10", you can probably get an 80-inch rack and do everything you want to do. If you're 6 foot tall or taller, you're going to want to get, an 87-inch rack, a 90-inch rack. I can't really think of too many people that need a 100-inch tall rack. If you're trying to do the military press, standing press inside the power rack, and you don't want to hit the bars when you go all the way to the up position, then maybe you want a 100-inch rack. But you can do the military press, the standing press, you can do that outside the rack so you don't hit the bars. You don't have to do it inside the rack. Keep in mind a power rack, in addition to facilitating, chin-ups and dips and bench press and military press and incline press, the major reason to get a power rack is to support doing squats. So make sure you get one with a depth that you're comfortable with. If you're a fairly average or thin person, you might be completely happy with a 24-inch depth between bars. If you're a bigger guy like me, you're going to want 30 inches. You don't really need more than 30 inches. I can't think of even though they sell them with, 40 inches and up, I can't really think of anyone that really needs a 40-inch depth between the bars. But, if you got the room, then do what makes you happy. So in addition to, so let's take a quick look here at Titan Fitness and the T2 series, the X2 series, the T3 and the X3. Any of these are good. I was looking at the T3, which is a 2-inch by 3-inch bar, and I wanted a color and I wanted a depth. In this case, 24 wasn't comfortable. I was looking at a 36-inch depth, and I wanted a color. Currently, there's no colors available. Oh, I guess there's whites available. I was looking at getting red. This is a perfectly good power rack. They have lots of accessories available for this. And you've got a height of tall or short. So in this case here, the short is going to be 82 inches tall with your pull-up bars at 77. And the tall is going to have a height of 91 inches with a bar of 89 inches. So this could work for you. Rep Fitness, so where Titan is, bargain basement, but decent quality, the next step up from that, or maybe I should say 2 steps up from that, is Rep Fitness. And Rep Fitness has, they have the 1000 series. So your PR 1100 home gym, if you want a color, you can choose that. This only comes with 24-inch depth, and it's a little bit smaller than I wanted. Although if you're a smaller person, then you don't need a big power rack. If you're below 5'10", this could be perfectly adequate for you. So you got colors here, and they've got accessories. You can get a combination kit with with this and a lap pull down row. And then I was also looking at the 4000 series, which is really overkill for me. This is like collegiate level stuff. 80 inches and 93 inches are your choices. Again, depending on your height, 80 may be fine. If you're a taller person, you're 6 foot tall or taller, you may want to go with 93-inch height. And cross members, again, for me, 30 inches is what I was looking at. 24 may be enough for you, or you may decide you want to go even bigger. And then of course you can choose your colors here, whatever you want. If they got them in stock, you can get it. It's a pretty decent price. So remember, this is without any options. So if you're going to choose your options, a pull-up bar, your safeties. Well, I guess this does include the basics. It includes a pull-up bar. It includes pipe safeties. So this is a really nice rack to get, and I considered this heavily. I considered the T3 heavily for a period of time, and then ultimately I had decided to go with something that was kind of in between, the Force USA. If you looked at any of my previous videos, you're aware that, let's see here, I have this. I have the Monster, I have the Force USA leg press machine, which I've shown in a previous video. And they offer some racks down here. Now, these prices here are kind of crazy, but you have to take into consideration these are complete kits. They come with everything. I went with the bare bones kit. Starts at $3.99. I got the red color that I wanted, and then I chose the options here that I wanted to add. Your J hooks, your safeties, your chin-up bar. And of course, they've also got lat pull down. They've got a cable crossover that you can connect to the sides here, like that. They've got a lat pull down row, which I will be getting in the future, so that I can do lat pull down and row with this. This is a little bit different in that the bar sizing is non-standard, where Titan Fitness has 2x2 and 2x3 bars. Rep Fitness has 2x3 and 3x3 bars. MyRack by Force USA is 2.4 inches by 2.4 inches. So you're not going to get a MyRack and buy an accessory for it from anybody else, because no one else makes 2.4 by 2.4 inch tubing accessories. But the nice thing about the MyRack is that all the accessories you could want are available from them at a really good price. So you can choose the attachments that you want, and the shipping is also pretty reasonable too. Now, just a note on shipping, Titan shipping is free. Rep Fitness, they charge for the shipping, which can be 80 to 120 bucks or more depending on what you're getting. And I think the shipping here was for Force USA, I think it was like 50 bucks or something like that. It was very reasonable. And you can get the accessories that you want at any time. So that's why my choice was the MyRack Power Rack by Force USA, and I got mine in red. So that is what I wanted to show you as far as the Power Rack choices are available on the internet.
Okay, hope you enjoyed that little internet surfing that we did. So here's my new power rack. It is the MyForce. It is the Force USA MyRack. Let me see if I can get you a picture of that. So this is the Force USA MyRack. Force USA also makes my leg press machine here. And I got the rack here in red, which is what I wanted, with the chin-up bar, safety straps. I got the enhanced J-cups. You can see the stabilizer bar there on the back that connects the sides. Place for barbell stowage. My Rep Fitness FB 5000 wide pad bench. And I went with this rack because it's 87 inches tall. and I'm 6'4", and my ceiling is 102 inches. So this rack fits my space perfectly for me. It's good for my height, so that it's not too short for me to do chin-ups. It's just about right. If I went with a 90-inch rack or 93-inch rack, it probably would have been a little bit too tall to be able to do chin-ups without hitting my head. It would have been close. The point is, for me and my height, 87 inches is perfect. For someone shorter, an 80-inch rack might work for you. Someone taller, you might want a 93-inch rack. But this is what I went with, the Force USA MyRack. I absolutely love it. I'm doing bench presses on it, and I'll be working into doing a military press. I can't do the military press inside the rack because I would hit the bar, but I can do the military press outside the rack just fine, and that's my intention. And I'll continue doing the leg press until I can get to the point where I can do a squat. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year's.